Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I thought I would share another sewing project with you, and this time it is a Tilly and the Buttons, and I've made a couple of these Stevie tops. So I heard about Tilly and the Buttons via a couple of YouTube videos that I listened to, and they were recommended for beginners. I have done a lot of sewing in the past, but I was completely self-taught and just kind of made a lot of it up. So I'm actually trying to get back into sewing but doing it properly this time around. So I have been picking up the easier patterns, trying to use the right fabric, trying to follow all the steps, things that I missed out before because I was lazy or impatient. So I've washed the fabric when I bought it, I've ironed the fabric before cutting it out, I've traced around the patterns rather than just cutting straight into them, I've transferred all the markings and the notches and things, I've been ironing all the time as I was going along instead of just waiting till the end, and even then sometimes I would just kind of miss out that step. But ironing makes such a big difference when you're ironing your seams and things, and understitching and top stitching and just everything. I've just been trying to follow the instructions, but that means that I need to kind of pick something quite easy to start with. So like I said, it's the Stevie top. It's also a dress, so this on the picture is the dress version, but it's quite a loose boxy style. It doesn't have any real fastenings, so there's no zips, no buttons. There is an option to have a button and a button loop, but you don't actually have to do a button hole. Or the other option is that it actually has tie back, so you just tie fabric, and that's what I've used. But there's no darts, there's no pleats or anything like that, so it's very simple and it's really good for beginners, but it does mean that as a result the fit is quite loose and boxy. So I didn't really think that that style would work for me, so I instead made the top. So there are two different options, one for a dress and one for the top. So I went with the top. So I'll insert some pictures that will give a better indication of what it looks like. This is the first one that I made, which I made in like a pink linen. And as you can see, I've got the tie back at the back, and then the sleeves have kind of a rolled over hem. So this I made following the pattern directly without making any adjustments to it, and it was a really simple pattern to use. It was really easy to cut out, it was really straightforward to follow the instructions. It all comes in this little kind of package, and as well as the pattern pieces you get kind of this like instruction booklet, which as well as having the steps also has like tips and a little kind of mini glossary, and also gives you a drawing of like the best way to cut the pattern pieces out. So paying attention to things like the grain line of the fabric, again something that I never did before, but I'm trying to do it properly this time. So I've been paying more attention to the type of fabric that I'm using, following the grain line and stuff like that. So I made it as instructed and it turned out really well. I really like it. The only thing with this is that it's got, for me, quite a high neckline, and I do not like things around my neck at all. So I wasn't sure whether it was a bit too high for me to wear. I think I can just about get away with it, but when I made my next version, which I made in this, I think it's a cotton poplin, in this kind of multicoloured, abstract, paint, splashy kind of colourway, I actually lowered the neckline by about an inch. So that works really well actually. So I redrew and traced my pattern pieces, and I know it lowered the neckline on the front bodice, and then there is a neck facing, which I also then adjusted. What I failed to do was kind of adjust the facing pieces on the back bodice, or the top of the back bit, because I didn't anticipate that would be a problem. So it wasn't really a problem, but it did just mean that I had to make kind of a mid-course flight correction and add, I don't know if you can see, but on the back bodice, no you probably can't, it's not going to focus. Anyway, I had to add a bit in here to extend it about that much, because it was coming up a bit short, and that's because of the alterations that I made. So I mentioned it previously because in my last video about sewing, I showed you the shorts that I made, which were much more complicated. The fit was a lot harder to get right, because shorts are just, and trousers are just harder to fit, I think, than tops. And I did say that I tried to make some adjustments, but then that had an effect on the way the pleats sat on the shorts. because I'm not competent or experienced enough to know how to make my adjustments but then keep the integrity of the original pattern. It's kind of the same here, and this adjustment was a lot simpler, just lowering the neckline, but I didn't think about how it was going to affect the back facing by me adjusting the front of the neckline. So you know, it was lesson learned, but I am pleased with how this one came out with the lower neckline. That worked a lot better for me and it sits a lot more comfortably for me, so I'm happy with that. And going forwards I'll make it with that lower neckline. And I am looking forward to making more of them. It just, I've got some other fabric that I wanted to use, which I'll get. So I've got this lobster print fabric which I really want to use, and I have quite a bit of it, but I'm not sure if I want to make another Stevie top with it. So I've ordered about 1 million more patterns. I've ordered about 1 million more patterns and loads of fabric and just spent loads of money. And so I think I'm going to wait till one of the new patterns arrives and then use that lobster fabric. I haven't quite decided what my next project's going to be because, like I said, I've ordered a bunch more patterns. Anyway, I really liked using the Tilly and the Buttons pattern. It was very simple to use and very easy to understand, and I am enjoying getting back into sewing and sewing properly. It works so much better when you follow the instructions, amazingly, than when you just kind of make it up as you go along. So I feel like I'm learning more because I'm learning the correct process. So it's going pretty well. Anyway, I'll insert some pictures of how they look with me actually wearing them, and that'll give you a better indication of what it all looks like. But I hope you like the video, and if you do, please give it a like. Please leave me a comment, and please subscribe if you'd like to see more of these sewing videos. I also make videos about other things, crafts, photography and planning as well.